And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. Time for a change, got a bounce up. The oppressor's about to get ousted. I'ma let him out. Execution's down, too late, but apologetic claim. You rapped at a coca, played by God, it's over. Doing your time is in the end. Locked out, silent without sin. He put me on the better with justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. Some oppressors attached to the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger plotting like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the political simple. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the clock, blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who have the to stand. Over meals too late when the caps get pills. Don't believe the TC type. Going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone when it got the dome. When it's on the zone, all red on my vision through sight. It's killing me kills whenever I fight. From a bullet, I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' run them off, so don't pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, if you taught that from school, everywhere, big business, you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, push, step, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
hear that. It's my intro. Alright, it's my intro right there, yo. Alright, mi hermano. I know y'all like, who, mi hermano? Come on, I got a few of them, bro. Luis. Knucklehead TV, man. Don't be using that. I already hooked up CapCut, a couple of videos. I think slamming, yo. Now, we have brothers that know how to do that stuff. I got a few, but I can't download them because on Instagram, this, that, and other. But yeah, that's the first one. So hey, man, I'm gonna be using them if they decide to monetize them. When we're down there and we're swinging pickaxes or whatever, until it's time for me to leave. I mean, completely leave, y'all. So it's that time. Yeah, I'll be using everything. Everything. Ivan, Tudweller, ToLU'S, send me another one. The Seventh Sign, one of the ones y'all kind of like. It's on Spotify. Let's go ahead and brush it up a little bit.
Look, earlier I received an upload. Was told to reach out, touch those, crush foes, speak out, bust flows, duck rolls, balance the ups and lows, open windows, shut doors. Pay attention to what grows and what doesn't. What was and what wasn't. Various, what I've been ever since I was born at the commencement. I adore squash, beans and corn, lots of strings and horns. Over the beat, swing over one. Outdrum the outcome, the child. An athlete is back in action, fact not fashion. Most y'all internet has-beens, more like commercials. With whack acting, from commercial to action, I'm laughing back up to laughing. I spit man, God, civilization, John G. Jackson, like a Gatling, the last dragon. Cosmic memory of an Atlantean. E3 technology is who I am in skin. Walking the landmass is Atlas. Some say I'm batshit crazy, but that's the masses for you. Can you blame the people who's been trained to be feeble, tame sheeple by the evil who means to keep you cashless in the fastest society, where the facts and the mass are the blame for the dying street. You the root race, they believe who. Eat the cheap food they feed you or read through these fools. Restore or rebel. Can't play God unless acquainted with the devil. Polarity you choose, acquainted with its level. Frequency, distance is an illusion. So please unveil the confusion. Look beyond the shadow of the late, a hollow year. See the far and distant lands when tomorrow appears. Put it in perspective. Incision of each being the latest, most accurate vision of peace. Where each one teach one to reach one, freeze one from under the trees and stump of the unleashed one. Remember, all skin folk are not kinfolk. While I hold a sword in my left hand, my right a pen to pink post. Word to sea Lord L, I'ma be more help to these foreigners till they leave our air, land, and seashore and sell their asses right back across that aqua. Screw y'all's dishonorable dogma. So I'm proper with no lube to pass. 25 years I've been the son of solitude. The oil that fused my chakras is cruel. Love my people towards the evils. I'm heartless and rude. Firstborn of Inkle, the dawn of the twinkle. Twinkle little star, I got Brian I could think to. I blink through a wrinkle in time with Van Winkle and rhyme. And my shit stink too to link you to source. Yes, you rather have AI sink you. I not only know the ledge, I want to bring to. They want to extinct you. Your essence is viable. Crimes against humanity, no oppressors. Liable, they try to write on my recital. Yet my presence vital as a session's title. Welcome to the savage cycle. The heart of man is as the sun. The reception order for the divine ray of spiritual intuition is sending unto man. The brain of man is as the moon, the source of human intellect. The body of man is the earthly vehicle. Let the sun impregnate the moon, or let the spiritual fire prompt your human intellect. And let the result fructify.
Hey, I thought you were asleep, man.
And you will develop the son of the sun.
Millennial, knucklehead. What's going on?
True wisdom.
That's old ass clothes. Rags, bro. Rags. Rags. Number of rags, bro. Ali listen to Tukman. What's going on, everybody? Top in the morning. What's going on, Citinelli? I figured you were still asleep. I'm tired, man. I was like, I knew I had to come up and I need to read. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna play it again. So I was like, let me come out here because I want to give a little something for the brain to marinate on. And then people can research it themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's slamming, brother. The losers, what's up, baby? Macaroni, what's going on, baby? Smoking garlic butter. Burning me.
A world full of love and peace.
Well, which one you want? You want that London pound cake? Or you want that brown bag special?
Through tongues, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
I'm gonna give you something to think about. I don't think about nobody.
When I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things.
Because I respond to any and everyone, and then when it's something that's retarded, they remove you. But that's a good question. All questions are not bad questions, and that's a good one. Andrew Tate, I don't think nothing of it. Whatever he's doing, whether it's part of the game or anything else, his business. Like I said, I'm different. I'm not here to make anybody believe anything. I don't care. You know, every AM, somebody sends me a message because I put my phone and stuff on, airplane mode. So when I turn them on to see the time, because, I'm looking outside and I'm like, see, I know I went to sleep for an hour. I woke up. I went to sleep for another hour and a half. I woke up. I dreamt. I had a dream I could not leave last night. And so that's the only reason why I look at the so-called time. And then I want to be as quiet as possible. We're men, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't believe in being hospitable and nurturing and shit. That's for the woman to make the baby, the new sentient life, nurture them. I'm here to be straightforward and deal with whatever needs to be dealt with. That's the job of the so-called masculine. And most so-called men don't even know that. You know why? Well, if they knew that, wouldn't be in the situation you're all in now. So Andrew Tate is playing his part, whichever one he is now.
It's done. I don't care what you say.
Great question.
They sleep inside your head, and if you haven't done the shadow work, you're left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace.
Short movie shorts, what's happening, brother?
That's my decision. It's the walk with this.
Yeah, I know you're getting that workout in, bro. Get it. I'll be soon. If I ever get this cricket, I need to go pay that $160 and get the chiropractor. Do something.
Shoot it out in the middle of the streets. We got protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no pops. Expola, worship and pedophiles.
Well, autistic, excellent question.
Spirits of robots. Turn all of us from carbon base to silicone base.
Well, what's happening? Smash Rooney. Yo, it's banging, right? Yo. Lance Ward. How's everybody?
Water system, irrigation, and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace.
Not me, but yeah.
Thus my decision is to war with this niche. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released represent with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Yeah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive.
Chi-Town, who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide out. Blue sky but high ground, my crown slash helmet. So my aircraft stealth spit, can't be tied down or even seatbelted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the features in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked, the cause my hand, I dealt it. Felt it vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. The bust off on some ices and velvet shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for remarks, you velvet. Body you not for Mars, a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit to a fly zone. Haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the silver hand, but we're healer man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie. I don't follow our set standards. Catch me, you gon' have to do more to scam. Need more to scanners. I'm off the radar. I am as your goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm data space AC, y'all. Buster stuck in the cage, face off. After the shape, the state is a fake, a fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing a step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piracy up. Flying a jet, straight to adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas carol lies what your fans get. Your worlds and pearls what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the clock. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people to never get a piece of the pie. I don't want to go for the best. I go for you niggas that think that y'all big too. I understand this. That's why you niggas and niggas can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people, and old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you.
So, y'all really thought that I was done with y'all? Nah, I'm really down on y'all. Fellas up. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops. Looking past the shot spot. Third eye gang straight tops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying die ops. From the skybox, I got a scope on you pills. The scope with some rules. Some of our folks are still dumb. Death and blast in the fact that blood, we gon' have this real stuff. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, they can't arrange. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should be disobeyed out. Forehead and knee off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, go is no issue. Coulda blow the intention. Now it's control who blows the whistle, to who holds the pistols. The debunk was about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the original issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is brown or black. We want our shit back. A fool is known by his speech, yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me. Stand on 2 feet, or trip the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence, mostly disguised compliance. Silence by guidance, from conspiring connivance. Other aspirants of violence, terrorists of fire. Strutting and trying to hide, I'm strutting defiant. In environments of migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my ear, they've got indictments. These pedophiles, queers, groupies, and hymen. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm not compliant. My refinement and confinement and requirements for this climate. Y'all push out the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. Real foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big monsters come full circle, so vacate your premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. This It's a big thing. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Now, or big bang. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is run away. It's a big thing. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Now, big bang. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back.
And we're gonna have it.
Kichiwa.
Burnt or not.
Shines and symbols are for the conscious minds, y'all. And with that on the temple, draw. I had a vision the past 9 year, a circulus round, created successful reality from a virtual now. How? Stand on my square cause they usurp your power. Them same little sneaky breezes that hurt you face. Now all up in your face, all up in your space. And I ain't talking all bras but dogs with whole trace. So I walk tall kittens while y'all cross slow race. I stay focused on walking through them tall gold gates. Draw magic circle around me to keep me from harm. The law fast checks purposely will keep me, I'm calm. Water, fire, air, earth, turn me from that peace to a bomb. Blow the joint just with the range, the plane, the sentiments. I've encompassed my inner demons. 490-degree angles guarded by angel of shining elite angels. Thank you, and I of course am the chief triangle. If I die before I wake, well at least I'm flying plain view. I am my circle, how I govern four corners. Wise as a serpent for certain amongst foreigners. Out of state, out of place in the space they storing us. Learning firsthand of what fate was forewarned of us. How we call wind blowing, I spit flows, dope man fly in the shell at Southampton, kept slow, stay high. Years later, he's the same degree, just gained density. Gave my synopsis, he's hostage. I prayed I could say I behave by low codes. I've raised my moral ground, way how my character stay fly. The conduct squared up, self-esteem, the day sky. New God on what the world's been waiting for. The day's not. Me out there and I don't abide by the same ethics. They fan respect, yeah, obtain the credit for keeping the obelisk erect, but with strange ethics. But the epic of my name will reign and remain epic. Circumscribe my passions, my squares, my lift. Ask, is it worth the ride? Yeah, it's rare, I spit. But the beach churchified, so I bear my shit. It hurt, I cried, this kitten there to try to eclipse my soul, bounce back from it. Announce that I'm done with being the sacrificial lamb. The jungle, I run it, thus the lion conquereth over this numbness. Made a conscious shift, even in darkness, the sun lit on you, false slice. Don't have to be gold to glitter. Actors with the purpose just for show. Go figure, you dig, pounding you bad boy or gorilla. I'm built like a silverback with hella track, no illa max than me. Masturbate her back, originally pretty. Take the mask off, 360 on my square. See this.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I know it took a little longer than usual, but my apologies. Well, I've been working in the sun most of my life. I live in Florida. It's time for more enjoyment. Hey, man, Florida, bro. Let's talk about it, man. Pierre, what's going on, beloved? Spencer Zane, how you doing? Appreciate it. All right, we're going to go ahead and get this. I just want to share something with you. I want to tell you a little something about, some of you don't know how I got the name Homa Neshoba, which means red wolf, okay? I'm going to give you a little story, all right? I'm attempting to pull up some pictures of my family. I don't like doing that all the time, yet it's beneficial. I think it helps, if you know what I mean. And it's not like I go far, but you know, when you have thousands and thousands, I don't even know how I got all these space on here, but thousands and thousands of pictures. And hundreds of family, going way, way back. I say it's always beneficial to show or share something. Now, this is not agreed upon, yet it's my biological, so-called, we are supposed to be biological, right? So I do show these pictures every once in a while. Some of you, I went back and I've seen you comment on some of the old videos where I showed family portraits, and I know some would question some things, but it matters not, especially when you have the history and you have, and I have family documents. So it's a little different when you have that. When most people don't, and that's about war. You know, war isn't just on the battlefield, red mist from explosions and body parts strewn all over the place. And if you have children, I'm going to keep it as sane as possible. As far as those who have this belief of doing the right thing. All right, so my apologies if I kind of step out of pocket a little bit and I go on a little tantrum, which I don't do that. But I know how people are in the time of emotions and feelings, to which they keep beating a hard drum on, and I'm doing my best to get y'all to remove those feelings and emotions, so that way we can have a more construct form of communicate. Okay. But I'm very aware and appreciative, and I can dig it. So remember I was telling you about one of my great greats. Now this is not Uncle Tandy or C. This is one of my other great uncles who fought in World War I and II. No, he fought in World War I. And he was around. He didn't partake in the Civil War of 18. He was around for the close in 1865 or whatever. He was a teenager, fighting age, obviously. Because in the Civil War, people fought from 13 to 80. Yes, 80-year-olds could run like crazy and jump up hills, and they weren't being chemically lobotomized and poisoned. And my family, when I asked my great grandmother, she said she ain't never heard nothing about no damn smallpox and all this other nonsense. She said we wasn't dying from nobody throwing no black plague, no blankets, and she says that's some made up nonsense that maybe happened later when that became a thing. But like I said, you got to remember, you need to remind yourself that Alzheimer didn't even exist up until 1977. So this is one of my great relatives who, when he was young, was teaching R.J. Reynolds and his staff how to cultivate tobacco and maize on this land. To which Rockefeller would turn around and pervert the maize and start using petroleum-based synthetics to change the dynamic, even as our natural medicine, as they went on chopping down spruce trees, the gopherwood trees, which is a cypress type tree, if I'm wrong. But this is one of my great uncles. He didn't live as long as Uncle Tandy and C. Uncle Tandy was 114, Uncle C was 115. And I met them all in the 60s and 70s. So, again, he was, for 45 years, he taught Paleskins how to grow and cultivate the soil. And he even invented a few things. I can't remember. I have to pull it out, my documents. But he had to teach them because they didn't know how to cultivate it. A bunch of Frenchmen, Arab like black. I got other pictures. I'm not going to show that because that's for the enemy if they want to be hard-headed, running around their false narrative. Then I had, bam, what's that? And then they sit there looking stupid because, see, they'll fight all the way up until you, because it's about proving. I don't have to prove nothing to people when they're living a lie. Okay? But I wanted to get into, I wanted to show you my uncle when he was wounded in Vietnam. Bumblebee. Some of you know Pawnee Bill, Wild Bill Pickup, Wild West Show. I'm going to read some of the people he utilized. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you a little story about the wolf and why my great-grandmother called me home in the shoulder. Of course, I used to be in the backyard of a group. She had a small little house. It's pretty big. Most of them aren't there now. They returned to the stores, all kind of stuff, hangouts, stuff that ain't there now as well. I've actually Googled to look at what's going on over there across from, not that she actually lived not that far across where the homes used to be. There's no homes there now, from Lackawanna Plaza. A very boisterous, beautiful place. Lackawanna Plaza was part of the old world, Tartary. But I used to play in the backyard, and I've been looking at it, and I can't find that now in Jersey. I used to be in the backyard, and I still recall the day. It was about a week after my great-grandmother, Bettina Lee, made me walk and get a switch. Well, I behaved badly. I said something she said I was never supposed to say. You white son of a bitch, when she down in North on Broad and Market. She was on Broad. Market ran this way. She was on Broad Street that ran all the way up, Bloomfield, blah, blah, blah. And this Pelican got off. I think we had tram still. I remember it's a bus. You know the old bus, Freedom Ride, right. And Mama Tina was getting ready to go on and had me in her arm, had her little cart and everything. Because we went to J.W. Wentworth store down there. And that's the picture that I had when I sat on Santa's face, on Santa's lap. And Mama Tina says, I want this. She says, listen, baby. Okay? I know you don't believe in this, and I know I don't want you to. I just want you to take this picture so that way you can have it for the future. And I'll see if I can find a picture to show you. And I set up on Santa's lap at J.W. Wentworth, or Woolworth, right? For those who remember, Bloomfield, Broad Street. So when we left there, now there's a pizzeria and a barbershop on this corner now. And you got the FBI building and all that kind of stuff down towards, I would call it the new Penn Station, because the remnant of the old one, of Tartary, is not there. The inside is. And she, pale skin, big John, fat Nick, got off, stogie in his mouth. You don't get your niggerish Indian ass out of him. And I remember that when she says, you white MFer, and knocked him under the front tire of that bus. And everybody down there knew Mama Tina. And I remember a couple of brothers was on the police force. See, this is what they don't tell you. They ran over, Mama Tina, you right? This some just called me all kind of nigger Indians. And how the foul mouth on him with that funky, that ain't the tobacco that we grew. And they arrested him. And I was, 1 week before, I met this very red coyote, whatever, I don't know what it was. But anyway, she made me walk because I had said that to a new car dealership that was something that was being called. And he came on and says, oh, look at the little nigga. See, this is the generation of those coming over here using words that were never utilized. Oh, he's a nice little, is he half white? Is he French? What is he, Indian? What? And I said, what she said. Now, she came outside and she had me go up inside, and I guarantee you those people would not walk back in front of where she resided, because there was 2 homes on the road. She was on the right. There was another one. This one was empty, but they were beautiful, like 3 floors. And in the back, where the fence was, there was an opening that went to the other. I forget what streets on that side. I don't know if we were by Miller Street or further down towards. I can't remember all that. I know we had a lot of growth. We go out and pick out blackberries and stuff like that. And I started playing with this red coyote fox, I think. It was a very, very red orange. And Mama Tina didn't know it because she used to have the little line for the clothes out there, and we'd be running around. Me and this little fox. Well, the fox was kind of big. I was a little over 7, 6 or 7. I can't remember. And Mama Tina used to sit down and talk to me and everything. That was the last whooping I ever got from, my grandma whooped my ass a couple times because I deserved it probably. Not no working, but hold on. Okay, anyway. Again, as I was saying, I remember Mama Tina used to always teach me words. Words that if I said them, like Miss Winston, who lived over on Elm Street, where Nightmare on Elm Street was first recorded, that I played a part in. Miss Winston was one of my teachers, elementary, all the way from the school from across from Grove Street, which was a place that they took us when Mama was whooping my ass on Willowdale. She made sure we went to that school because that was like before we went to, started out. It's like P days, and we all sleep together and everything like that. Light skin, dark skin, it didn't matter. There was no racism, none of that dumb stuff. And she said, Homer. And she's looking directly at me. This is how they did it. Homer. And she had shot the gun and chased the fox away. She wasn't going to hurt it. And I was scared bootless. I never heard a gunshot like that. And she was telling me the story about the wolf. That's how I learned about the eagle, the wolf, the crow, the hawk, the raven. Stories that most people don't know nothing about, so I don't say nothing unless they get all edgy on the side. And she says, I think she said, Jimmy, that was a fox or something like that. Wolf family, dog family, canine. She says, but I'm going to call you from now on. Your first nickname, she didn't know. Aunt Joe already called me Jimmy Mac, so that was my first one. Home in the Shoba, that means red wolf, little red wolf. Yeah, you're not coming in here. I ain't moved out yet. What are you doing? Anyway, and whenever I said home in the Shoba, and I always, Miss Winston, who was teaching us at the time, would take me back into this big closet where we hung our jackets and put our brown paper lunch bags and walk me around the back and, I'm gonna tell, I said, and I would say, and I would look at her sternly and say, because she didn't know at the time that my mother worked hard to kill me for a while. And I said, but she's the one that taught me it. And so she never hit me again, mind you. Miss Winston? No. But it was argument that Grandma, everybody says, you don't speak those languages. We don't speak those languages no more. And I say, why? You just don't. We don't speak those languages no more. She says, well, the language has changed over the last century. Oh, she says 70 years. And most choose not to speak it. They used to do a thing after church where they would get together and they would go in the back room and they would speak their languages. That died away because of Prince Hall. Mason. But she made sure I knew that nowhere else will you see a wolf in a carnival show, standing with whips and trainers. She said to me before I even knew anything, she says, nowhere will you see a wolf laying with his sisters and brothers, aunts, mothers, and cousins. They will stay with one selected outside of the clan or tribe that will become enumerated in the clan and the tribe. And they will mate with that wolf forever. She says, the old wolves, they never put them in the back of the pack. They put them up at the front where they protect them until it's time for them to go. They do not carnivalize. They do not eat them. They will not let no harm, even if it's every one of their lives, come to the old wolves. They are faithful and trustworthy. They are strong where required to be, where strength is required. And they are cunning if there's hard times. But they will never betray one another, never turn on one another. Yet there is a pecking order that has nothing to do with institutionalization. And I remember her saying, you will either become a preacher, and preacher doesn't mean church people, or you will do other things. Because she couldn't figure out how in the world. She heard stories when she was in her youth, in the early 19, like 1910 and stuff like that. Because remember, she was 96 when she passed away in 80, at 80, like 6 or something, I don't know. She was like 10 years old in the 1890s or something like that, or 1800s. I think she was 10 years old in 1900s, so. I spent most of my time around her. And my grandmother always took me to make sure I seen all those still alive. My aunt, my great Aunt Rose and Tandy C, all of them. And they were and they let me know what happened on our land, Shouts Plantation, which was never really a plantation, but that's one of the names we took on. I used to go hang around a lot of individuals, and I never was one to want to fight the people we considered friends. But there were days when I would speculate because of where they grew up or where they were living. There were times when I wanted to hurt some of them. And I chose not to. because I didn't know nothing about ego then. But later on I would learn that ego is probably what was creating the dynamic with them. And where they were being nurtured at school. People who even to this day, I still have respect for. I don't have adoration for them like I used to, but I have respect for them because we walk the fine line. I had brothers who I used to break dance to go around. I would never show off. I didn't have this ego. I would hold back. It's like fighting. I would drink in order not to fight. People are like, if Red's drinking, he don't want to fight. He's just going to pass out over there, or he's going to be up on the porch, passed out. I used to drink that heavy just not to harm anybody. Unless it was family, then I'd probably attempt to fight and get mopped up. Because my intentions were always very, very bad. Very bad. In a way I can't explain it. Because I don't want to mess with people's little egos. She's so sweet. Anyway. So when she made sure I knew that, I wore that like kind of like a badge of honor. Because I was always told never to talk to them, but I used to ask people, hey, you ever been named after an animal? And you know, ignorant Negroes will say ignorant things. And they never said, well, what animal was you named after? And I was like, I don't know. And some people come on, he used to say home on the shoulder. What's that? And then people, we didn't have internet. And they didn't even know how to go to the library and look up. What the cats I grew up with, man. Oh, I could see how people were broken down and put into this lower existence, made to believe that they were up here. And I think we've all walked that. But the respect of the wolf. I don't seek respect from nobody. I think I have this inclination of knowing that if it's duly given, it should be duly received. And if it's duly received, it should be duly given. So it's not just a one way. It's, all right, energy has two lines, they say. I tell you, energy has one line. It depends on what direction it's traveling. And they've convinced you that it has to be another line for it to make a loop. Well, that's not infinite. Infinite is a straight line from one place to another. But someone say, but you have to, if you're talking about negate the negativity, you don't really need that. There's a reason why a ground exists. But that's a whole nother dynamic. It's hard to come out of seeing things this way. As I state, there's a big wide road and many are on it. The wolf, have you ever watched them and they travel on a single. And sometimes in protective numbers, when we say the triangle, you know, to vector in something, they spread out this way when hunting. They also spread out this way when corralling. See, people don't know that there's much more to it than that. There's energy that gives them focus and direction. It's been disrupted. Just like you. Same thing with the killer whales, orcas they call them. I would like for y'all to look into that. And the dolphins. Even the sea lions. The seals. There's a natural established order even with the beluga whales and the humpback and the blue, even when they are paying homage, respect, or in sorrow or sleep. There is a natural dynamic to frequency that is beyond beautiful, beyond, there's no word that can express or explain it. So having this little information is beneficial. And most will sit there and say, I don't want you to live vicariously through me, I want you to live with me. Okay? But through me I can tell some stories. You know I have a story to tell. Why am I saying all this? Well, you still have people who are still consistent with lies and history. And they know they can accept a pigeon of information, small bird meaning, Somebody will say, why didn't you say parakeet or a pigeon? With information. Like a picture. A picture. Or a picture. A pigeon of information. Okay? And the George Orwellian factor that is really have taken hold. We have people that have a hard time accepting a narrative that may be steeped in a whole lot of truth. Pretty much is, but because they've got to coexist in a world that is pretty much damn near devoid of any truth other than the truth of the lies that exist in. And when I posted George Orwell, his information based on the world we live in, people totally decide to ignore it. They says, oh man, that's just some more information, da 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 da. Well, my mother's side, my uncle, it's the Cherokee side. And everybody says, you gotta be straight hair, and no, you're so wrong. This is nothing against straight hair. I have like little curly fro, wavy, my hair gets real long, it gets kind of stringy like Samoan. It's just the way it grows. It's like my porcupine mustache and beard. It's outside of me. It shouldn't mean anything. It shouldn't have no stand. But when you create a caste system and you take the first and make them last, and you're afraid of the last becoming first because you believe that you'll be destroyed. Well, the first who become last was never meant to be last in the first place. So you're arguing in your existence because your ignorance reigns supreme. Therefore, you either accept the truth or you can still move in the lie. Which one is more beneficial? I've already done over 20 videos between TikTok, Facebook, people teaching them, and here about our great inventions that are numerous. And somebody reached out and says, well, what about us shaving the pine wood, like taking old wood and shaving it down? I said, what is that? It's funny how the old story became a pale skin when it was always a Negro walking with a blue bull, actually a bison, and they had to change that, chopping down these trees. I mean, it was always the Negro saying my bunions is killing me because we were supposed to be the slaves always on our feet when it was mostly everybody. And if you look at the truth and articulation, if you think Paul, you would want to believe Sweden or something. But Paul is enumerated here on the lands here. Just like Noah, Johnson, Abe, Lincoln, Washington. I don't have to go through all that. I just want to put things contextual. Okay, that's all. It's up to you whether you want to research it or not. I'm not saying this is 100% factual. I'm giving another. It's like Lee, you know. I told you General Lee is my relative, so he must have been German. Not by the history's denomination. I'm telling you, he was a Negro. I'm using the word Negro very lightly because, like James Baldwin says, damn it, I'm nobody's Negro. How can you run around the world where you see that these Gujars have chaliced and they're literally attempting to bring World War III, and they're working all in, I've been showing you. But some of you have a hard time accepting the reality or maybe of a plausible system of how you came to be. And you want to argue it. So I had this Mexican brother hit me up. He's like, Rick, I don't agree with you. I said, before you have this disagreement, and I can dig it, did you do any real, authentic research? No, I talk with family members. That's not research. They can be dumber than you. I said, did you do? And I says, look, you live in America. Why don't you go beyond the island of Mexico? Take your butt down there, Venezuela, Chile, Argentina. I mean, go, no, well, it's way down there. So, but I'm saying, go all the way, just go everywhere. I mean, because y'all don't go to museums. You don't look at the terms and the words, Negro, that's all over there. You've become Americanized by a system created by the Gujar, Chazar, whatever you want to call And they are out to harm everybody. I said, what is upsetting to me is the wars that our people fought together. Even after they set up the first emperor who was a fake Jew. Before Zionism was created, but who was a Gujar, a Hindu. As they did everywhere. To get rid of the kings and queens. And establish a presidency for an outsourcing of the Federal Reserve. They were establishing. It's a slow process. But at the same time, they're soldiers. Who was an accumulation of many different people. Over that period from the 1st century to before they got here. We're raping children to make babies. And if you think that you're not from that, then you're a fool. Someone say, well, we're the conquistadors that came here. Well, you don't look like a Negro to me. Because see, people have a hard time accepting this reality. Because it's outside of the Hollywood narrative way, which who created Hollywood, from Italy to New York, and ended up in California, with all the sacrilege and all the vile, evil things and spell casting. You got people wanting to be, I'm a Illuminati, I'm a this, and I'm a that. No, you're not. You just don't even know the true stories behind them. So I pointed it out to him. He says, okay. I says, well, I'm going to do you one better. If you come over to my live, I'll set it up in the AM, and I'll read some things, and then you can take it from there. I keep looking at my Uncle Lonnie on Denver Broncos. Big ass Olmec head. That's what I was calling him. I should crack one. You big Olmec head. And then you remember people sitting there talking about Princess Leia, there was something in the Mongols. It was a hairstyle during Tartary that was only befitting royal families. Some say, oh, she's a black Chinese. No. She is Aniquia of the Anawa in German. Smart. So I'm going to read this. I hope it makes some sense. You can do the rest of the work. So here we have Pawnee. Pawnee Bill's Wild West show, right? Which was Wild Bill Hiccup, right? So let me make sure I get the right information here. I had to scroll back down because you know how it is when you're dealing with stuff like this. You know, they say the act must go on, vaudeville. What is a show? Based upon an act. Someone say, okay, but the act is based on what? Performances given by actors or actresses, right? Or in singular actors. So whenever you see something being put on, we all know that the circus, regardless of the performers, are all actors, performers. And in any show, especially during the turn of the century, not this one, but so-called 1800s to the 1900s, we had the World's Fair that wanted to the lie of it. We've read more than enough information. So Wild Bill Hiccup, Pawnee Bill, was not only a Mason but a Shrine of 33rd and higher, who was called upon because of when he came to this land. Someone say, well, he was born here. No, he wasn't. I read his document. I know it says no, he wasn't. And in the show, what it states is, it says, as far as the Wikipedia, which you know is all fraudulent now, it says show Indians, or Wild West show Indians, is a term for Native American performers. Why would Native American, when we know the Native American movement had nothing to do, was foreigners coming off the boats who created the Native American movement, we were not called Native. We were called American Indians. That had everything to do with the Know Nothing Party that would later become the Democratic Party that would push for the lynching of first the light-skins who were here by birthright. And then later on the melanated and even the dark Mexicans of antiquity. and Indians. But most notably in Buffalo Wild Bills and Congress of Rough Riders show, Indians were primarily, they say, Oglala, Lakota. Anyway, from Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, yeah, okay. They need to stop lying. But what they don't want to tell you, Texas Jet Omahandro, Annie Oakley. It's funny how people who have been fighting the war are performing a show and Annie Oakley can outshoot them. I'm just saying. Because Geronimo was supposed to be deadly with a rifle. Okay? And then when you want to get to Leoteke, what's the name? Leotoka, Tataka. Tatanka's a Negro name. I'm just letting you know, goddamn. But you had mixtures of mixture here too. So don't get it twisted. For those who want to get into all that, you mixed with this and all sounding dumb and don't know the first thing about anything. But anyway, let's carry it on. So you got to remember that Wild Bill, there was a serial killer that was based on Buffalo Bill. I think his name was Michael or something like that. Gary Michaels. Anyway, that's a whole nother dynamic out of Philadelphia or something like that. So I just know a lot of things about this idiot. I've studied fluidly. Okay, so-called Buffalo Bill Cody supposedly had 16 Indian fights. But if you ever read any of these stories, he would talk about how he was fighting, killing these Negroes. You never heard him say it Indian. I don't know. Maybe you want to look into that yourselves and see what you find. What I'm doing here is I'm par for the course. I am debunking stuff based on the consistent inconsistency of them telling stories and how they fouled themselves. And then you can research and see what you find. This is not to denote anyone's existence, but to show you what was stated by George Orwell is a fact. Okay? Okay, let me see, where's that? Oh. Stupid. Okay. I want to make sure I got the right stuff. Like I said, when you go and start looking at stuff, you don't just grab everything and just run with it, because that's the dumbest thing in the world to do. Okay? All right, I'll pass it up. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, they're trying to hide it. Okay. We're doing this live, remember. So I want you to see for yourselves. So, okay, you got that, right? You got that. Now, we don't have to go to Geronimo, because you saw what 322 Skull and Crossbones did with his head. Because you got to remember, they wanted to study his skull, right? A certain group of individuals. They wanted to further study the Negro features compared to the so-called native features that was in the skull, to which, I don't even know, was the skull ever returned? Does anybody know that? Oh, excuse me. Navi, what's up, beloved? Hey, Pierre Bronson. Hey, Daniel. We're going to get right into it. What's going on, guys? I got your delusions. Patricia Griffin. Hey, what's going on, everybody? And no 24. What's going on, beloved? I thought you had a wrench, bro. God dog it. Yeah, I thought you had a wrench. Well, you do have a wrench, okay. Oh, Patricia Griffin, you're not late. You're fine, man. I'm trying to shut you off. James Bond, what's going on, beloved? What's wrong, man? The idiots, they got to come in and say dumb stuff? Okay, you can't help that. You can always tell the ones who come back with the same account, but don't worry about them. What was that? Honestly, I get freaked out all the time. I have the story, and then I do my research. Okay, but look, I'm going to read this to you, okay? Anisha, what's going on? I'm going to read this to you. You got that information. Now, I got more as far as the people that he utilized, all right? Because, let me see. Let me see if I actually pulled it up on the other side. So, Pawnee Bill, another Wild West showman. Pawnee Bill, you know what that is. 1908, Wild Bill. Hired performers from various backgrounds, including Mexican cowboys. Performers. If they were performers, who were they acting like? Including Mexican cowboys, Pawnee and Sioux scouts. And if you know the truth about Pawnee and Sioux scouts, if you look at wearing blue, you'll see a Spanish Negro mixture, a Chinese Negro mixture, and a French Creole patois. Yes, Negro Indian mixture. Well, French and Negro Indian mixture. Now these people will become separated around the 1930s and 40s and be established as a new, but you don't know that. A lot of y'all live that. But why am I saying this? And Chinese and Japanese and Arab performers. Wild West show. Now the Pawnee and Sioux Scouts. How many of y'all know what the Pawnee looked like? Original. Alamo, you can go before that. How many of you know about the original cowboys? Right? Cowboy, you think cowboy, and you might picture John Wayne riding herd across the U.S. West. But the first cowboys lived in Mexico and the Caribbean, and most of them, 98% of them, were black. They always say that the horses were never here. Well, the Pawnee horse, we had quite an assortment of horses that were always been here. There were no Spaniards. They can't even bring 300 Negroes on a boat back then over here from anywhere. At least 20 to 40 until around the 1920s and 40s when they were grander ships and war vessels to which they could bring stacked like crazy, pooping off the side of the boats, a whole lot of coming at Ellis Island. Y'all know the story. But regardless of that, because there weren't no Pelskins here, except for the welfare that was only 6 million. And those 6 millions didn't stay. They traveled around, blowing up demolition, and keeping our people fighting, because y'all don't know a lot of the wars that were going. So y'all think it's, the Indian wars. Y'all have no idea the scope of the Indian wars we were fighting all the way up until like damn near the 1950s. Y'all have no idea about real history because they subjugate and make sure you know what they want you to know. Curriculum, school curriculum. And that's they say from DNA and genealogy and everything, they're able to find this. So nothing against my beloved Mexican, my Spanish brothers. I hate calling you Spanish. You just speak Spanish. Remember that. But a lot of you are crypto and Sephardic Jews. Sadly, it's not with hate. Okay? We gotta either speak the truth or we can stay in the lie. And if you think that you're gonna benefit from the lie, you're doing yourself harm. You're further raising yourself. So let me go on. So the vaqueros, even my Spanish sucks, man. I know one of my they be getting hard on me, like, well, my other ones just get someone. Your Spanish sucks, papi. Ah, shut up. Silencio. But anyway, right? The vaqueros, right? Well, whenever they use African, know that it's a Jew, know it's a Zionist, and know they're lying. There's no such thing as Africans at the time. But black, Mexican, Native American, and Spanish men. Well, I already told you who the original cowboys were. I mean, we can start talking about Nate Love and going through the whole names and everything. Okay? The reason why Theodore Roosevelt grabbed a whole bunch of Negroes, because only Negroes could hunt down Negroes and walk into certain places and fit in. Even in Mexico. I mean, you know the story about the Seminoles, who are mostly Pawnee, Cherokee. But Pawnee is pretty much Creek. Anyway, the vaquero way of life started in a European country called Spain. Now, at that time, there was no such thing as a Native American. You see how they mess up? Native American belonged to those getting off boats, established themselves here, coming to fight us, steal the land, our stores, our buildings, destroy everything, and rewrite history. If you're born in this land, you're native to it. But to be original of it doesn't mean to be indigenous. It means to be the first, like a rib of origin, to which the majority of you are not. You can be indigenous all day. That means you probably second and third generation. That's all that means. Indigenous. You can research it. Don't take my word for it. I've been doing this for a long time. And there could be still some bad things, How many of y'all know about Islam Dart? When you want to talk about gunslingers, everybody wants to talk about Dark Holiday. What Dark Holiday? How many of y'all know about ISAM DART? Islam Dart. You want to talk about some family history? You want to talk about some bad mofos, some real ones? I mean, they did make the Lone Ranger and the Hyde Bass Reed and all the original police officers of this land are peace officers. The original Republican Congress. They established some fake-ass white cities and stuff like that. And I know it's hard for people to accept this. So what we're doing was giving some information, let you marinate it, and you research and see what you come up with. Books are important. Even though a lot of them hold a lot of lies. Misdirect, redirect, okay? Spoofs and everything else. I mean, I was a guy that's big on reading Lewis Lamore, all the old Western story, knowing that they were all bullshit. Excuse my language, bull. But these things are very important, all right? I mean, you got to look this stuff up. Now, Dart was, I think, Mr. Hustleton. Islam Dart was Ned Hustleton, I think. Look him up and see what you find. That's all I'm saying. All right, when you want to talk about a mean, ornery son, he was a real one on his land. And the story painted of him, no, he was fighting invaders, bro, and robbing them and taking, because they were taking and destroying. Okay? I mean, you can get into Islam Dirt, you can get into Pete Staples. We can go on and on. Like I'm one really, I'm really, you know what I mean? Because if I was back then, I'd be one of them. Guaranteed. Nobody gives a goddamn about Project 2025. All right? You're gone. And Trump didn't have nothing to do with that. You're gone. I mean, Nat Love. Y'all gotta, there's so many. There's hundreds and thousands. Y'all gotta look them up. Okay? And stop being subjugated by the very enemy. Everybody that got so-called white Klan members, this, that, don't know that the Klan was created by Jews. They hate them, and they don't know that that's the problem in the world. Now that they do, they still gotta hate us when we're not the problem. We only kick your ass because you came on this land inappropriately and you were nurtured in a lie and you performed against us, so we had to batten down the hatches. A lot of my so-called Latino brothers, some of y'all ancestors, some of y'all are second generation born here, coming from Spain and Europe. Don't get mad at me. Go and look why. I mean, because all through the South, I used to visit all the so-called black or melanated communities, and even a brother who lived in Bataqueros, who was writing a book. I don't know if he's alive, he was in the 70s, and everybody respected him because he and they knew he was one of the original people of the land. How does that just magically just go away all of a sudden? The Seminoles, well, if you can beat these individuals, this is what these Gujars did, this emperor. If you could beat these enemies, because see, this monkey, fake president, Roosevelt, was given the job by them Gujars to hunt them and kill them. He couldn't. You know, talking about the Spanish-American Civil War? It was no Spanish-American. That was a hunting, and it was brothers and sisters on that side who were Latino speaking, or Spanish speaking, or Latino identity, right? Or Central American, who were saying no. But they still respected the bloodline, whether it be Arab, black, whatever it is. All right? They still had a connection to the truth of history. Unlike today. They're still down. No, I still know brothers down there that know the truth. So, and I'm grateful that they're there and not some of these idiots who don't know shit here. But it's not just there. They're all over. You got whole like there's nothing but melanated people. They've always been there. I put a post showing you the original people of Cuba, Haiti, Jamaica, and even Central South America. And some of y'all, I know, are having a hard time that whitewashing wasn't a thing. There's a book on whitewashing that was created by the damn same people that's about to destroy the whole world that y'all are in contempt because you're so worried about us because they made y'all worried about us when we're the original people of the damn land. There's nothing I can do about that. See, what they succeeded at was really no success. No, they didn't succeed as what people think. I'm thinking about creating an account for people to donate who want to. To further add land onto the land we're going to be on. I got to get with the prices and stuff because they're just giving stuff away now to people. So that way we can fundamentally, actually, we don't need loyal titles and all that bullshit. When we buy with this worthless dollar our land back, they're not entitled. They're not even supposed to fly the fuck over it, but you know they're warlike. So anyway, there's things I'm going to be teaching that need to be taught there. I don't care about the rest of the world. Only those of you who matter. Because those of you who matter, that means things matter. Okay? Certain things I won't do on here. Okay? But when you want to hear if the original cowboy was black, which is a social construct by a goddamn fake Jew, that means they were the aboriginal. Regardless of what you think. Buy into whatever you want. You can Google it. For you Google masters. You know? What is your input on northern nomadic tribes of Mexico? Especially the Jamaica. No, listen here. The original people of this land world over, we had shades. Different shades of weed. But if you want to look ornate into the truth, how would you come and conquer a land and then all of a sudden just leave it? That's not what happened. Brothers and sisters world over, but they were melanated goddamn Negroes from the very southern tip all the way up. It doesn't matter what anybody, because it's hard to let go when you grow up a certain way. That doesn't mean you're nurtured in the truth. There's things that establish. War and destruction creates this fear, and y'all see it until people get to the point past it. And then there are those who are speaking truth, but it doesn't mean that the Negro has to. And that term, I hate it, because like James Baldwin, I'm not your Negro. But we use terms loosely and flagrantly to establish a new world order. Y'all have given energy and walked yourselves into an establishment that goes beyond the scope in ignorance. And they couldn't establish it unless people accepted the new lies of this new fake history. And it's hard because why is it that everybody else gets to have their identities, but the Negro has to go through 12? And not to my uncle John Amos playing that goddamn forsaken boule Masonic fucking roots with the miniseries of these worthless Tyler Perrys and everybody else. Constructed out of lies. But when you read the real story where he stole it from, just like them two Jews, and one now is a female, whatever, can never be a woman, who stole it from our sister who won $2.5 billion. Fighting all them years. I know her personally. These bastards. This is what they do, a system of perversion. And they deny everything. Just like they deny certain people eating cats, but they have not been down there since they murdered the CIA, and these knuckleheads from Ecuador went over there, these stupid fucking goujars went over there with this worthless nigga and murdered Haitian president. And nobody can see that yes, if you read about Germany, Oslo, all these places, even in North America, the so-called fake civil war, our people ate the pets as well. And the first thing these goofy-ass CIA motherfucking contractors with these fake Jew fucks and worthless niggas and sellout monkeys and you goujars who are Hindus do. They want to debunk it, and later on, just like Zeneca and everything else, it comes out, yeah, it was fucking people up. Because they got their job done. The people are too ignorant to walk on their truth. They say walk in the Lord, not even sin, Lord. Because you got to be swayed by the fucking enemy that's put you in the position and lied about everything in the first place. I'm a real world historian. Not one of these made up, fake, educated in the system to keep everybody running around in fucking circles. But it's an excellent goddamn question. I might even start writing a short little book, a little 12-page something on that, just to have. Excellent goddamn question. See, that's the question, y'all. You see what I'm talking about? That's the goddamn question, y'all. You see what I'm talking about? Daniel, that's an excellent goddamn question, bro. Like I said, all my brothers in Central and South America, even North America, one of my best friends who I adore to death is Mongolian, but he lives over there in Siberia. His name is Dinji. A little older than me. Told you I had to put on the leather and wrestle with these goddamn pampers on. This is the weirdest shit ever. So, and it's not because some people say, oh, but you got Chinese. Oh, shut up. I told you the Chinese that married into my family were dark as fucking midnight, and they weren't called Chinese. How do you think I learned the word kate? I've been saying that over 40 fucking years, getting my ass whooped in fucking school. When I mentioned certain things, they said, you can't say that no more. The fact that I told Tardy was being taught in schools up to 1930 some fucking 9 or something. And people say, oh, how you know that? Malcolm wasn't lying when he said, put it in the book. A nigga never, anyway, most people. Hey, does anyone think Kamala Harris can make it close? Nobody wants, hey, bro, you know what, Adam? Okay, you had that, okay. Come on. Kamala's one of the ugliest damn Hindus I've ever met in my life. I know some beautiful Hindu sisters. I don't call them Indian. I call them Hindu. And some of them know, and some of them shared information with me. The reason why I speak the way I do. And people say, well, you must hate the Hindu. No, why would I do that? One of the first black, I can't say it that way. Because then they know, they have an idea. Anyway, he's playing golf, he's damn near in his 80s or some shit like that. And he was the one that told me about Bell palsy, about the clonazepam. That shit. He says he don't know why these bastards created it. He says it's nothing but poison. Mr. Branch, he was only supposed to be on that 5-6 week. I worked for the VA one time. He was a black cat, one of the first Hindu special forces operators. And he was the one to let me know. And then when I reach out to these faggots in this fake ass Department of Veteran Affairs, that's what they are, faggots. All right? They act like they don't know what the fuck's going on. I can sue them on that. I've been on that shit over 15 fucking years. It's part of who I am now. Now, most of y'all wouldn't even be able to live on that shit over fucking 5 or 6, maybe 8 years. All right? So you see what I'm doing. I'm always doing my best to remove it. And I entrust men. I entrust them to walk around and do the right thing by me. But like I said, they're too stupid. Anyway, that's for another time. Hey, baby girl Slaughter, what's up, mama? Did my baby girl Snoo come up in here? Where's Fools at? Over Kelly, meth talk. Yeah, sure, meth talk. Stop smoking it. You'll be all right. If you stop smoking it, you'll be okay. Okay? Or take the blood plug, whatever. If the dildo stuck up in your butt, go to the emergency room and they'll remove it, okay? Nav, it's good to have you here, sis. It's good to have all of you here. Yeah, Jay Sharp, I really do too, bro. Oh man, talk about it, man. That friggin' squirty squirt, the jab. Oh, Mac, what's going on, beloved? Okay, let me go down. There's a little more I want to read there. My apologies, though. Yeah, the 12 identities. I know. It's pretty, but it's not here to dismiss nothing. I mean, they made the Lone Ranger, and they thought they could hide in the cool, because they taught the Lone Ranger in school, y'all. Y'all remember that? And what was this Kimosabe? And what, the little sidekick, a Jew, a dark Italian, a Sicilian Italian, just like crying iron. What's his name? Something Tears Cody. I don't like remembering frauds. If you get what I'm saying. Even the lady, they had burst her bubble, who went up there and spoke on the part of Marlon Brando. He won't be accepting this. She's not even indigenous. She's not even autochthonous or an aborigine. Think about it. Somebody said, where's your cheekbones? My cheekbones are right here, fool. What they're supposed to be down here or something? Do you know what this is called in medicine? Do you know what muscle that is? See, this is why people talk. My cheekbone is right up here. But my ocular eyes, with this part right here can get broken and chipped off. Your cheekbone's right here. How much higher has it got to be up here? People are so damn stupid. You can't make there's about 12, 13 African tribes that got cheekbones fucking up high here, so stop with the high cheekbones. Stop. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You can't make this up, man. God dog, y'all really getting to it? Oh, you got sideburns. I'm part German. That has nothing to do with nothing, because the autochthonous people grew some of the most marvelous goddamn beards in the world. Right here. Especially the Twa of Mississippi on and through, which Mississippi went all the way up where they said Mexico was. There was no Mexico up in North America. Stop that insatiable bullshit. Because see, the conquistadors, the narrative of what they call conquistadors was actually based on Republic, was like a branch in the army. It had nothing to do with the fake world they created. So my brothers who would think they're conquistador, which mostly was very dark melanated and light-skinned people, different shades of goddamn brown, wheat, all right? So we can get beyond this crayon shit. We got to, y'all. We got to move forward. They want to give you, we are the world, we are the future, we are the ones who make a brighter day. So they want to give you that. But when somebody's saying, God damn, can we all come together and stop the bullshit? No, you got idiots who don't know no better. Because they're a parliament to the politricks. They're still on vaudeville stages doing Scatman fucking scrapes across the damn stage. And you're still listening to somebody standing over you on a podium who don't care nothing about you. Because you know him. I'm going to slow down. Because I can really start digging. All right? I can really start digging. All right? I want to keep this peaceful. My apologies. All right? So, in the 19th century, as far as the West, from 1850 to 1900, the first original cowboys were melanated. It doesn't go before that because we were great cities and great people. Do the research. There's no 1760 for the cowboys. It's all lies. Just like carbon dating and everything else. I mean, wasn't it like 20 years ago when people realized, okay, they can make real diamonds in a matter of hours? I mean, But y'all buy into the death part because you don't know that when you want to unstabilize the whole network, you have to break people down by making something make people believe something is meaningful. I mean, how many of y'all have been to the Diamond District in New York? And you got them little fake ass Jews walking around, the Zionists, who the Hasidics don't like them, walking around with the fake black garb and the little strings handling everything else, right? That means secret. So stop wearing them fake ass fezzes, the fake ass shit they wear. Stop wearing the little 4 strings. It was never meant for them to wear it. Anyway, right? And they walking with briefcases of diamonds coming from certain places where the melanated children them are dying because of worthless niggas in Africa. They're not the same as us, who are standing over them to make sure it gets done. So I don't ever want to hear about this when people betray people everywhere all over this so-called world. I need y'all to get it together. Balance. There's an imbalance. So what they say is, and this is what I'm going to say, they say in the Rio Grande of Texas, let me see if I can find it, because I can't remember everything, that most cowboys were so-called Mexican or black, right? And the Gulf Coast of Texas. And so if you think that the original cowboys were black in the first place, then how can one be the... See, you know, I read that one about Spain in Europe, right? Africans are up. Black is another numeration from Negro. That's the numeration from the American Indian. That means enumerated above something. That's when I say enumeration. You all know that, right? That went to being Afro-American, then Afro, then black again. But we can never be just the American, because I told you to look in Belize or by Brazil. There was a capital at Tiameri that has nothing to do with this land. I told you all this place was not called America. They still barter identity things and make up shit. Is that so hard to understand? So whenever people come talking to me and they're talking very like they're strict and assertive, and I'm like, oh, they're using terms that have no meaning to me. I don't debate or argue. I just walk. Okay. Lose. Stay right there and lose. You get it? Then people go, what is that word you said? I said, Atrea. Why, you can't pronounce it? You want everybody else to go, rolling pin, pen. We created the pen and the quill. Well, God, dog. So if that's the case, so Mr. George Hamilton, and come on, man. We invented the friggin' pen, the quill. Goddamn ink. I mean, how much more do I have to say? We've all gotten together magnificent. But then you look at the system and the certain individuals. Look at Suge Knight and all these dumb, worthless pieces of excrement. Look at them. And the few that came out and tell the truth are to keep the narrative running, spoof. You have a hard time believing, because let me tell you something up there, when they're allowed to have these millions of dollars or be broke and their whole being belong to something else, they'll be comfortable until they're meant not to be. They are locked into some serious shit. And because y'all are not as real as you think you are, if you were, you would be been on grayed out or blacked out, and you would be doing things like those people who in the IRA and this, that, and the other would be doing. But y'all are comfortable in your existence. You talk big riff, but you're not about no revolution. You say you're a rebel? I say, man, come on down to the land. Let's learn how to dig, build together, and let's chill. And let's watch everything unfold. But you can't even do that. That should show you that they're talking in your head, they're manipulating your think, you're eating shit still, and you don't know whether to go left or right. You that motherfucker on the field that when I was I was a tight end, but sometimes, you know, I had to hit him off. That if I see you out there and I'm like, oh, that's him, I'm clipping you in the lower part of your back. I ain't give a spank. Sometimes I throw my hand up where your nuts at, your cup, and when they couldn't see it, and push you down harder. That means you come up with a whole lot of side and shit in your, you know, we had the little goofy little, when I played in the 70s. But yeah, when you come up with a whole lot of grass. I remember when I played football for high school, they had Quintus and them knock the smack out of me going through the line. I was into fighting, man. I wasn't like, I mean, I was into banging, like, you know, leg kicks and all that with a little ball running, and people could just hit you, and you ain't super fast. I ain't the Flash, you know, Flash Gordon. I just like, okay. So anyway, let me see if I can find here. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so in the Gulf Coast of Texas, most were black. Well, that means Aboriginal. And they used to be Negro. I've read this before. They changed that. See what I'm talking about? See how these motherfuckers don't know what to do? They're so pressed. And in Oklahoma and North and South Dakota, most were not Oklahoma. Wait. They're going to say Native American. Yeah, white people. But when I do this, damn it. Because you can't, see, this one made me want to be disrespectful to Negroes. Every time I see some white folk talking about they Indian, I'm like, who man is this? Okay? And if they come even further with some more googly eyed, oh, but we is the Indian. That's when you're distant relatives out of Africa theories. But anyway, right? So what I want to show y'all. A bunch of mulattoes rewrote y'all's history. Okay. So what I wanted to show y'all. And I noticed that, well, so-and-so was this, and they're dark, and you know, at that time everybody was dark, and then. So I'm going to show you on the left. It's supposed to be a pawnee. Now, and if any of y'all have the original paintings from the French, I forget his artist's name. He painted the Pawnee and the Shawnee, whatever you want to call them, with afros. And we already know that our people wore, when the animals were being killed, to grab their strength, they used to take the hide of the bison and they used to put it on their head. And the women were literally banded to their head, the bison hide, when they go to war, because we did not kill the bison. That would be a Negro French, and those would be hybridized or Gujar Aket Arab people. Some of our bloodline them in too, because they were big on raping our women. Now I'm going to show you two Shawnee Indians. One more of the Negro stock and one of what we considered the Latino black. Well, they're very dark because there's a colorized picture of this. And these are Shawnee. One like Nate Love, and the other one like the brother from the Cherokee Nation that played in a whole lot of movies. Now, these are from Alamo. I want to show you, when I said, remember that we had our own small Twa people here? Well, this right here has no name, but I know who these are, okay? And these are considered of the Cree during the time of war. And what you're going to see is, you're going to see two Negroes, and you can see that there is some French mixing going on. People say, what do you mean? Who do you think conquered all the lands? Japan, China, Europe. I mean, they run around with their little new identities now, but I know it's hard for you to accept that, okay? And you're going to see the little Twa woman, right? Little Negro woman, right? These are Cree. And the man, it's hard to see his face. And that brother's cheekbones aren't high. His cheekbones are down here. That's the admixture. The woman is looking away from the camera because she is ashamed. Well, she's looking. You can still see her. She's ashamed of what's going on. But we were very accepting people. See, this is where you mess up at. Because y'all are not accepting. Not you, literally. But those who will watch. You want to see another brother? This is a Pawnee. Oh, it's African, huh? Huh? It's a Native American, yeah? Yeah? Shut up! That's a goddamn Pawnee Indian. I know my Indians. We're going to show you another one who's mixed with the black French. This right here is a Pawnee Indian. Yeah, debunk it. I want to see one of them guys come and get the information and pull it up and debunk it, because I'm an artist who's been around the Library of Congress and all the other museums around the world, and I know what I'm talking about. So if you want to go debunk it because you're fair skinned or you feel some kind of way and you think you red, because when I'm redder than all of you, please. I even know his name. I'm going to show you another Pawnee who looks like the Chinese that married into my family. Ain't nothing but a nigga, Chinese. Pawnee. Debunk this smug. That's not even on silver, what do you call it? Silver, what's that paper called? Y'all should know this stuff. Y'all went to school for this stuff. Cellulose, silver on the cellulose. You know when they do the reverse with the light and the boom and the flash and catch the picture. You think I'm playing? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to show you two Negroes, Pawnee Indians. Remember I was telling you about wearing wigs? I know all of you have a hard time believing that our men wore wigs. Well, how do you think they came up with the wig party in Europe? Anyway. Niggas! Niggas! Oh, we ain't never seen that picture. I got stuff none of you will ever see. Hold on to your horn parts, your britches. That's all I'm going to show you. Do I need to go grab my microphone and go like that? Is that y'all, can I entertain you? No, I was kidding. I mean, my tia, Chu. Ah, look at your tia, your aunt who, what's her name, Chewy? Yo, she looks like a few of my tias. The short one, right? Yo, for real, right? Yeah, Daniel. Anyway, I appreciate you all, man. Y'all let me know. What do you think about me creating? Because I know it's hard for y'all. Some people donate for the books. I wish everybody did, because then I wouldn't have to sit there and go crazy about it. Crazy as it is. But anyway, not up here, but you know what I mean. For the land thing, I maybe I'll do it when we get down there, and we'll get Rando and we'll get together, because we got some guys pretty good at the computer and stuff like that. We'll take little small things to work we're doing. We're not going to show location and stuff, and let you get like an overhead view without giving away too many landmass. That's how I was able to debunk the moon landing and the bull crap. I've actually been to the desert out here where they did it and looked at the same damn rocks from the 60s, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. But anyway, because people still believe they landed on some damn fictional moon. Even Buzz Aldrin, I went to his middle school, Mount Hebron, look it up. For those who want to go, this nigga went to prestigious schools. Yeah, so what? I'm just saying, okay? Even in his days when he was getting old, he was starting to tell the truth, and they couldn't have that, so they had to get rid of him. Especially after they brought him back from Antarctica and says, there's nothing but evil out there. They had to tie him into the thing, put him in there, and fly him away. I'm not lying. Sienna Smith, thank you, hon. She's gonna beat all y'all. She just donates $2 every time, and I mean, she's like, please. Thank you. That is so meaningful. Whether it's $1, $2, it don't matter. 50 cents. Somebody donated 99 cents. I was like getting on my knees. Now I'm not a religious person going, somebody make the energy take care of this brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody, and if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And you can meet me in person. I give off different sorts of energy because I know everything going on around me, literally everything. And I have to, sometimes you have to allow things to happen. You have to move in a way. I'm going to make everybody comfortable. At the same time, I'm going to make sure that everybody knows that you're your own individual. It's not about control. Sometimes you got to sit there and go, hey, look, man, I ain't, this is the world we live in. Until you come to this, you know what I'm saying? And that's the magnificent thing. My thing is to show people. I went out this morning, I'm walking barefooted, watering my neighbor's grass. And then I went over here to ground, because it wasn't a grounding, to do my, and to clean out my glands, because I noticed that it's more than the food. It's in the air, literally. And I put cilantro in the water to suck up the fluoride and some of the heavy metals. You don't eat this. You don't eat the cilantro. And you put about a capful of lime juice or lemon. And you want it at room temperature. You never want it cold. And you put about a teaspoon of salt. Not Morton. Them Jews are trying to kill you. You don't eat it. Trust me. It's sucking up all the bad shit, okay? Come on, people. That's why I wish Ganja would just get one of them Walmart damn greenhouses, dig down 1 foot, put the damn thing in there, and grow cilantro and parsley and goddamn yams and potatoes. I'd have done that in 2 days. Beloved one. Oh, you damn sure don't want to eat the stem. And Ganja, we got to get down there. I don't care if we got to make the trip or whatever. And get some grape trees growing and avocado trees, bro. We got to find out and where the when you fertilize certain areas. And if your high winds aren't disruptive, you can build encampments around that. And that's what needs to happen. So that way you can blacken the soil. That means tilling it, making it where roots can go down. And when the roots go down, you change the whole topography. That needs to be happening. You get one of those little tillers that's like this, and you just sit there just doing 10 by 10 feet every day, and then taking a hose and wetting it down, there's a filter you can buy to put over your hose, it's still the same pressure, but it removes most of the crap. Now, you can only use it a handful of times, but you can buy them, and they're pretty cheap. You can even make them, where you can take your hose, and instead of putting all this poisonous water on it, you know what I'm saying? Oh, appreciate it, Dan. Would somebody do something? Christina Havas. Much appreciated, beloved. Appreciate it. Yeah, whenever you can, I appreciate it. I know, and it's Friday. No, I'm not like them, man. I'm not, because you got paid. Some people get paid on a different time. But yeah, just donate so we were good. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. Okay, Daniel, I appreciate that, beloved. All right. Melvin Ward, Renato Musk. 32 miles wide and 11 miles high frequency trees. Yes. Rubber trees are the same way. Petrified trees. Penny Lou. Exactly. But don't forget I'm not going to forget my Philistine brothers, my Palestinian brothers. No, hell no. Everybody knows what's going on over there is by all these fake ass goddamn governments. They're all worthless. They're all the same motherfuckers. Excuse me. Whenever I see children, I'm going to save that. So the people out here, the doctors and the nurses, they'll make sure they don't watch this. If they were able to watch this, I can guarantee you I'd be in their dream. And they would try and run and hide and take their lives and everything. And I wouldn't allow it. Anyway, I'm going to keep that to myself. Okay? Well, Putin's doing exactly what he feels needs to happen. He's a player in it. Okay? Putin will walk away and he'll be fine, and they'll all gather together and drink dark bourbon, baby's blood, and smoke cigars. When the smoke's clear, and then all their little soldiers who they've given iodine or whatever will come out from their holes, go around to gather whatever remains are left. Build over the old, build in the new places. They want to write y'all out of obscurity, and I don't see how y'all tolerate all. I'll say that for the story. All right? Anyway, I appreciate you guys, all right? Cashapp, y'all know what it is. As well as a dollar sign. Y'all know what that sign is. We went over that, right? Remember that book I had? I told y'all what that was? It's like the medical one and all that. Those are spells. But it's Indian Jim, and there's always going to be a uppercase I and an uppercase J. Indian Jim 1. All right? So let me sign off. I hope that some of this stuff made such sense. Hope that you can research it, find out what you pull up yourself, and share it. Don't take everything as a fact, even when I say it's a fact. We have different shades everywhere in the world. And we had different shades even back then. But as far as white people, y'all are a new existence. And I'm talking about white. The narrative. In their existence in totality. However you want to see it. Based on the 6th century. Because before that, it was all melanated people. Gujar were melanated people, but very light. Some things have been done. People manipulated, mess with things they shouldn't have. And not everybody is from here. Y'all need to remember that. Per se. Okay? So, I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all later. Sisters, brothers, I don't have a brim unless I do this right here. See you guys a little later, man. Snoo, where you been, Boogie? What's up, mama? I was looking for you. Appreciate you guys, all right? Yeah, baby, I've been on for an hour and 48 minutes. I'm off, all right? Appreciate you guys.